This is how I went from this to this and how you can do it too. In this video, I'm gonna share all my secrets and everything that I did to actually change my life and lose fat, gain muscle, and keep it that way. Because sometimes when you are in this journey, you might lose a little bit of weight, but then you just gain it all back. So this is how you can make sure you get life-lasting results. For a while, I had been wanting to lose weight, but I really didn't know how. I was trying, but unsuccessfully, and I really just was not seeing any results. I realized, I'm like, damn, I have gained a bunch of weight. I need to do something about this. And I have never been like a person to go to the gym. Like, I never was that person. I grew up as a dancer, and so that was my form of exercise, but that was just about it. And so when I graduated high school, I didn't really have like a regular fitness routine at all. So obviously my unhealthy eating habits had caught up to me at that point, because I was no longer exercising and I was eating whatever I wanted, because when I was in high school, I could eat whatever I want and still be stick thin. So I had gotten to my largest point. I had gone home to Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico, obviously you have the beach and you're in bathing suits, and I was seeing all of my old high school friends for the first time in a long time, and I was so much bigger than I used to be, and I felt embarrassed, honestly, because I think I was just embarrassed that I had let myself get to that point, because I was unhappy with myself. I felt like I just wasn't taking care of myself, and that made me feel embarrassed. So I went back home to Puerto Rico, saw all my old high school friends at the beach in a bathing suit. I was like buying a bathing suit on Amazon that was like high-waisted, because I just didn't feel comfortable in any of the bathing suits I had. None of them fit me anymore. And then I went home and I was just like, I saw photos of myself that we took with our friends, and I was just embarrassed. And I was like, I am never gonna feel this way ever again. And after that trip, I was like, I'm gonna change. Like, I'm actually gonna change. It's gonna happen, because I will not come back and feel this way. That's not gonna happen. What made me want to change was that embarrassment. And sometimes that is what it takes, because you just don't want to be in a position where you feel that way about yourself. The difference between what I had been doing in the past and what I did when I felt embarrassed was I was just guessing. I was like, okay, well, I'll join CrossFit. And I did. I joined CrossFit in like January of 2021. And I went in consistently. I didn't change my diet. My diet was still really bad, but I was going to CrossFit on and off, not consistently at all. And honestly, I don't feel like I really wanted it bad enough towards the beginning, because I hadn't felt that sense of embarrassment, honestly. So the missing piece that I was always resisting was my diet. I was like, I don't want to track my calories. I don't want to track my macros. I don't want to think about what I'm eating. So in the very beginning in August of 2021, when I came back from my trip and it was like, no, something has to change, I had started watching YouTube videos about fitness and nutrition, and that's where I learned about a calorie deficit. So if you don't know, a calorie deficit is when you are burning more calories than you are consuming. So that is what will lead to weight loss, is when you're burning more calories than you are eating. So I was like, okay, how do I do that? Work out more. I was like so resistant to tracking anything or changing my diet at all. So I was like, okay, I'll just work out twice a day. So I started going to CrossFit consistently, and I think this was maybe for about 2 weeks. I started going twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. So this was the point where I was learning more about what you should be eating. And so I wasn't tracking calories, but I was just making a conscious effort to eat more whole foods rather than processed food. So I would literally buy like a Trader Joe's salad bag and bring that into work and then just eat that. And I started seeing results so fast. Like within 2 weeks, people were telling me, oh my God, like you look leaner. And I was like, really? Wow, that's crazy. So if I have any advice for you, don't do what I did and not track. If I could go back, I would track. I would track how much I weighed, but not all the time. Don't do this all the time. Maybe do it once a week or once every other week or once a month. But I do think it is important to track your progress, because if there's anything that you want to change, and this applies to anything in life, track it. So I started exercising twice a day and making more health conscious decisions. But you know what the crazy thing was? As I learned about food, I no longer wanted to eat the shit food that I was eating. Like I was eating 2 bags of chips at work for breakfast, along with 2 more for lunch, whatever we would order as a group at lunch. And for dinner, I would have like a box of frosted cookies. Like that's what I would eat. And in my office, there was always like shit food everywhere. But as I learned about food, and a book that I highly recommend is How Not to Die by Gene Stone and Michael Greger. That book changed my entire mindset on food. Do you know why? Because it is a research-based book telling you how different foods affect and impact your health for the long term. And that changed my mind entirely. I would look at cookies and I'd say, I would not even want them. I would not even have to resist them. Like, oh, I'm like limiting myself. No, I no longer wanted that, because I knew and understood how it would biologically impact my health. And that is the key. If you want to change, you have to change the way you think. And there's a statistic, I'm pretty sure it's like 90%. This is what I've learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Like 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before. That's crazy. So if you're not really conscious of what you're thinking, you are bound to live the same day over and over and over and over, and that one day is gonna be your life. So if you want to change anything about yourself, if you want to lose weight, you want to lose fat, you want to gain muscle, you want to get fit and feel better, feel stronger, feel healthier, you have to retain new information. How are you going to change when you know the same thing as you did the day before? If you knew what you had to know to lose weight, you would already have lost it. If you want to lose weight, you need to get new information. How do you get new information to change your thoughts, to change your habits, to change your life? Read, watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. That is what changed everything for me, because when I started going on YouTube, and obviously take everything with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of people out there, including myself, who are not experts. I'm actually getting my certification for personal training right now, but I am not trained. So I am not a licensed professional at all. I'm just a person who is sharing my experience with you, because I have been exactly where you are behind that screen. That was me 3 years ago. YouTube searching how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, how to get toned, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was you. And it's such a full circle moment that I get to be here and help you. I'm not sorry, but I'm having a moment of just like extreme gratitude right now, because I'm just so grateful that now I get to be on the other side and help you just like other people help me. And so anyways, I would highly recommend reading that book, How Not to Die, because it's research based and it really did wonders for helping me change my mindset. Back in the old days, if you wanted to become someone, you would surround yourself, and even today, you would surround yourself with people who are in those positions that you want to be in. Like, you're the average of the 5 friends that you spend the most time with, or the 5 people you spend the most time with. But if you are consuming your mind and your thoughts with podcasts, with YouTube videos, with books around nutrition and fitness, it's as if those things were your 5 friends. So if you are constantly exposing yourself to this new information about fitness and nutrition, you're no longer going to be thinking, oh, I hate going to the gym, it's just such a chore, I hate eating healthy, it doesn't taste good. Like, you will change your mindset on this, because you're learning new information and you're actually learning how it impacts your health. Like, we all know eating healthy is good for you and eating junk food is bad. We all know that. But do we know how and the intricacies of how it affects our body and what illnesses exactly it can prevent in the future if we were to just eat what the earth gave us? I would sit down every day when I got ready. I would put on a YouTube video, a podcast, or an audiobook of any of these things, and I would listen to it over and over. Even like YouTube videos that really, really inspired me, I would watch those over and over and over and over. Because here's the thing, you're not always going to be motivated, but I kept my motivation up by watching these things, listening to these things every day. Every day. You can't just watch this video once, listen to an audiobook once, listen to a podcast once, and expect your entire life to change. Absolutely not. You have to shower every day to stay clean, right? You can't just shower once a week and expect to stay clean the entire week. Absolutely not. That's the same thing with your mind. You have to refresh your mind every single day until you get to where you want. And even when you get there, you still have to keep learning and growing and evolving to become better and better and better. And that is why I have had lasting results, because I changed my mindset. It starts from the inside and it will reflect on the outside. I want to go to the gym. I love going to the gym. I do not have to force myself to go to the gym, because I simply love it, because I love how it makes me feel. I feel so proud of myself when I'm there. I've worked so hard to get to the point where I am now that it's such a treat. It's my favorite part of the day. And you can get to this point as well. You just have to change your mindset. And that starts with learning new information. If you take anything from this video, this is what you need to take. Change your mindset and you will want to do these things. It will not feel like a chore. We talked about the mindset, right? Let's talk about the tangible actions of how to actually get your butt in the gym, or get into a CrossFit class, or get into yoga, whatever you want. Make sure that it's something that you love. Don't force yourself to go to the gym if you truly, truly hate it, because you will resent it. And here's what I did. So I started off doing CrossFit because it's a group class, which is an amazing way to get started, especially with lifting, because it's a class and there's like a community aspect of it. You meet other people and it really helps you stay committed to it if you have a community that you're doing it with. Second, they also teach you how to lift, and they teach you the positions. They teach you how to use a barbell, how to do the squats, how to do RDLs, and you will feel more confident in the gym if you have learned how to do these things properly. Because I totally get it. When I walked into the gym for the first time, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I literally didn't. And it makes you feel insecure. It makes you have gym intimidation. It makes you feel like people are judging you because you don't know what you're doing, right? So go to a class like CrossFit where they teach you, or another amazing thing is, I'm sure you have a friend that loves to go to the gym. Ask them if you can go with them and they'll teach you. I've had my friends ask me this, and I'm so happy to go to the gym and take them through my workouts and show them like the proper form and show them my routine. Like, that makes me so happy, and I'm sure that any of your friends who are like genuinely supportive of you would be so happy just to take you to the gym with them and show you the ropes. This is actually how I started getting consistent in the gym, because I had a friend that I had to pick up in the morning before going to CrossFit, just because I offered to give her a ride because she didn't have a car. And that really held me accountable, because I'm like, well, damn, if I don't wake up to go to CrossFit today, she's not going to CrossFit. And she was like super fit and loves like fitness and CrossFit. And I'm like, I cannot disappoint her. And so that's a really good way. Go with an accountability partner that wants to also improve, but you have to keep each other accountable. Like, you have to be committed to it and actually do it. So if you can find someone that is already advanced, like someone who is already doing this consistently, that is probably the best, because two blind mice is not really gonna go anywhere from my experience. If it's two friends that don't know what they're doing and that don't have that consistency yet, are more likely to fail at it. I'm not saying it's not possible, it absolutely is, but that's my suggestion. Another thing that really helped me be confident in the gym is to buy a cute outfit for the gym, because I barely had any gym clothes and I didn't feel really good. And then I would buy leggings that weren't like squat proof or that I couldn't run in, and it was just uncomfortable. So when you buy gym outfits that you love, you're gonna wanna wear them and you're gonna feel so confident. It's gonna boost your confidence in the gym. You're gonna feel so cute, and it will just help you feel better and boost your confidence in the gym. As for food, that is where the magic really happens. How I would personally describe it, not a professional opinion, but how I would personally describe it, I would say that food is the overall factor of like whether or not you lose fat. And then when you go to the gym, that's when you gain muscle. But if you don't replenish yourself with protein to really build your muscles, then you're not gonna build muscle or get toned. Like, for example, every time you work out in the gym and you get sore, what you're doing is you're tearing the muscle. So what you do when you eat protein, it's like, think of it like you're chipping at a brick wall, right, with whatever, a hammer, and you're breaking it, and then you have that hole in the wall, right? That's the tear in the muscle when you work out, when you feel sore. When you eat protein, you're like taking like a putty or something and refilling that hole in the wall and building muscle. That's what it is. So every time you're like tearing muscle, protein, packing it in, that's when your muscles get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why diet is so key, because if you're not eating enough protein, then you don't build the muscles. I used to be a vegan for like the first 2 years of my fitness journey, and it's only like in the last year that I've eaten meat and all dairy products. And I honestly, my progress and my muscle mass skyrocketed when I started eating meat again, because I just wasn't eating vegan the correct way, and I at the time I was like not gonna do that. But I started seeing my body really change and get more muscle and get more toned when I started eating sufficient protein, which is something I wasn't even tracking before. From the beginning of my fitness journey to now, it's been about 3 years, and I have seen people that have done it so much faster, but long-lasting results will ultimately come from a gradual change. So this is a photo of January 2021 when I was starting to work out, but I wasn't really eating well. This is from when I decided I wanted to start eating well, to a few months later. This is how I looked just a few months later, which was like the biggest change that I have seen in a short amount of time, because at first the change will be super drastic and then it'll gradually slow down. So then the next year, this is what I looked like to what I look like right now. And I want you to know that my weight has fluctuated throughout this entire process. Like at the beginning of this year, I couldn't go to the gym, I couldn't eat well because I was moving and I was living in a hotel and whatever. Life happens, and I had gained weight from before. But it still wasn't like nearly to the point where I was at the very beginning. But once I got into my place, I got into a gym, got into routine again, I got back on track and lost it again. Now I'm cutting, and I can honestly say that this is like the fittest that I have ever been. It's only gonna go up from here. And if I gain weight, I don't know, being home for the holidays or being on vacation, it's fine, because the entire journey is going to go up and down, but the overall trend is gonna be like you started here and now you're here, like as a drop in weight, but it's gonna be like this, okay? So don't freak out if you regress for some time, because you have the tools. This is a lifestyle. You have the tools to get back on track, and it's just part of life. Life ebbs and flows. If I gain weight, like even if I gain weight for whatever reason, like it's fine, because I love going to the gym. I love eating healthy because I know it's what's best for me and my health. And so I will just do that and I'll come back even better. Like, it's not a big deal. I don't want you to get attached to the numbers as like an emotional thing. You should track your progress, but if you can track your progress not just like on a scale, because you can gain muscle and lose fat but still have the same weight as when you had more fat and less muscle. So if you can go to your gym, and some gyms have this, is they do like an in-body scan where they'll scan like how much muscle mass you have and which area of your body, and also your fat and how much fat you have and weight and percentage and all those things. That is what I would use to track your progress, because that is going to be the most accurate and the most helpful thing to track your progress, rather than just like seeing how much you weigh on a scale. That honestly means nothing. Literally nothing. Try to look at it as an objective thing. And I know it can be hard, because we attach our identities and our self-worth to a number on a scale, but just know, like, it is so much more than that. It's not about how much you weigh. It's not about how much fat you have, how much muscle you have. It's about how you feel. It's about how you think. Honestly, that's like the biggest change that I've seen in me, is how I think. And that has changed my entire life. And I feel so much better. I feel so much healthier, so much stronger. I'm so much more confident. And now, guess what? Losing weight taught me so much discipline. And I know it teaches you how to accomplish any other goal, because you know, okay, well, if I want to get to this is what I have to do, and I'll track this. This is how much I was this time. This is how much I was this other time. And it will teach you so much about yourself. It will teach you about accomplishing goals. It will teach you discipline. It will teach you self-love. And that's probably the best thing. It will teach you self-love, because when you love your body, show your body love by fueling it and by keeping it moving, because it is a gift. So many people on this earth cannot move their body. So don't wait until the time that you can't move your body to be grateful for the times where you could move your body, because it is a gift. It is such a gift and such a blessing to be able to move and be able-bodied, and to be able to lift anything, to be able to run, to walk, to jump. Ultimately, it will teach you gratitude. It will teach you self-love. Do this for your future self. Do this for future you, who one day may be on this side of the screen instead of this side. Both sides are great, but who knows? You literally don't know. And people's lives transform when they learn discipline through fitness and health. And don't do it just to look better, even though it might start that way like it did with me, but do it because the person you will become on the other side of this is going to be someone that is totally different from who you are right now. And then you're gonna look back on this moment of you watching this video and be so grateful to your past self for putting in the work and putting in the effort, because I look at myself that way. I look at my past self and I say, I love you so much, and thank you for doing what you did and putting in the work, putting in the effort, so that I can be who I am today. So I'll leave you with that. Sending you so much love. Love you so much. Good luck, and let me know how else I can help you, okay? Leave any comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.